I'm your host, Mr. MegaManFan, and today I'm starting a series called The Wild and Wacky World of Wii Accessories. And there's none better to start out with than the uDraw game tablet. I got this one from a local thrift store for only $8. It says $14.99 on the front, but there was a green tag on the box, meaning it was on clearance from the price that was listed. And since they normally go for about $20 according to price charting, I figured $8 was a very reasonable price, especially considering I've been picking up bargain bin games that say uDraw compatible for a long time, but I've never actually had this tablet. And I was always into tablets as a kid. I so desperately wanted a koala pad for my Commodore 64. My parents couldn't afford that. I got one much later in life. So tablets have always been a curiosity point for me. Anything that could let you draw on screen and have a one-to-one relationship with the thing you're doing and the thing you're seeing was always super cool. I was also pretty pleased to pick this one up complete in box with the software and the tablet. I've not been expecting to find one complete in box anywhere, and although the box is not in perfect shape, again, for a bargain price, it seemed more than worth it. So let's put the software in the Wii, give this thing a try, and see what the uDraw Studio is all about. Now, other than looking up the price, I did no additional research before buying this. I wanted my experience to be fresh and not be prejudiced by prior experience or other people's videos, so I just wanted to see what it was like for myself. This is as if I was buying it brand new right off the store shelves back when they were still at retail. Although I can't really remember ever seeing them at retail. I'm sure they must have been sold at Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Kmart, whatever, but that either wasn't stocked in a place where the games were stocked, or it was just somewhere I wasn't looking, because honestly, until I started seeing uDraw software in bargain bins, I didn't even know that there was a tablet for the Wii. And the way this hooks up is much like if you were using a classic controller or a nunchuck. You actually attach the tablet to the bottom of your Wii remote. It is not a standalone, it is not a USB plug. It plugs into the bottom of your remote. There's a little cord that sticks out on the left-hand side of the tablet, and that goes in the bottom. And then you're supposed to lay the remote in that same hole, and it turns out the reason you do that is because you have to use the buttons on the Wiimote to control everything. There's only one button on the actual pen itself, and if I was going to say there's a drawback to the uDraw tablet, it's that it would have been nice to have multiple buttons on the pen, stylus, whatever you want to call it, so that you could control more of the options. You can basically just draw or erase with it. You can't access any of the menus. You have to use the back trigger to get into the menus using the Wiimote. So conveniently, the uDraw tablet cubby that holds the Wiimote does allow you to reach through and click that back button. So it's not inaccessible. It's just also not intuitive. And I think that the limitation here is that it's really just a dumb piece of plastic with a little nub to attach to a Wiimote, because if this was a more sophisticated drawing pad, they could have put tools on the pad itself that you could have selected with the stylus to make up for the fact that there's only one button on the stylus itself. But at least for what I'm going to generously call kids drawing software, the options are as good as you would find in MS Paint or Paint Shop Pro. You've got a full canvas to work with. You can save your drawings. You can load drawings that you want to work on. There's a color palette that you can select multiple colors from. You can use fill tools. You can probably cut and paste shapes, although I haven't actually gotten that far with uDraw Studio, but I'm going to assume since most of the other Paint Shop Pro MS Paint type options are in there, that those are available as well. The one that I really found annoying was I couldn't find an erase all tool. The only way I could get rid of a current drawing was to just start over from scratch. There should have been like a here, erase your canvas button instead of having to load in a brand new canvas. I guess that's the same thing, but to me, it's not really the same thing. You can also zoom in or zoom out on your drawing, and you can put different backgrounds behind your drawing, so when you're zoomed out, you've got something different to look at. So all of those options are there. You know, I'm not sad that I bought this for $8, but I'm probably the wrong demographic for it, and I'm going to just admit that right now. Because one, I'm not much of an artist, if you hadn't already figured that out by watching me doodle on the screen. And the other is, I did mention that when I was a kid, I really wanted a koala pad for my Commodore. And if you're a kid and you see this tablet to draw on the screen, you'd probably have the same reaction I had to a koala pad when I was a kid. Like, you mean I can draw things on the television? I don't know why that's so fascinating at that age, but the idea that you can control what you can see on TV just really captures the imagination when you're young. So this, by the fact that it has a coloring book mode in it, seems entirely tailored to that demographic. But don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some comic book artists and illustrators who've made absolute masterpieces using the uDraw Studio. Then again, I don't know if it has the kind of fine touch on this stylus that you would really require to make high-level art. I feel like you would want something with a fine point on it, something that would plot specific points exactly the way you want, in the exact places you want, and you would want like touch-up tools and brush tools and all sorts of extra options that aren't going to be in something that's tailor-made for kids. So, in summary, if you saw this in a bargain bin and you had other uDraw games like Win, Lose, or Draw or Pictionary or whatever, and you needed the tablet to play those games, I would pick this up just to use it with those other things. But I'm not sure, unless you're the right age, that this is going to provide endless hours of entertainment for you. Unless you are someone who is already an illustrator, an animator, an artist, someone with a creative mindset will definitely get more out of this. But it's definitely no arcade game or platformer or puzzle game or action game or RPG. It literally is what it says on the box. You draw. And if you are not into drawing, then the uDraw will not be for you. And if you are, then maybe this is great. That's my first Wii accessory for the week. I'm Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know all the things to do. And thank you for watching.